a buff black dog hybrid to a cute and busty cow hybrid, to a milking machine whirling and loud, to a hot and sassy chicken hybrid, to nothing but whatever this creature is, to a pig genitalia digging the farm's doctor's bum. At this point, I don't know what I signed up for, but I didn't think I would like reading it. The Manhwa gives a clear warning at chapter 1, and we see our main protagonist in a bus reading letter from his uncle named A, who runs a farm. In the letter, the uncle says that there is shortage of workers at the farm and he needs someone he can trust. So the uncle asks help from our protagonist, then gets dropped off by the bus out of nowhere following his request. Apparently the farm is located in the woods, far from people, so he follows a map sent by his uncle to locate the farm. He obviously gets lost in the woods and he hears commotions. Someone is running and then stumbles, followed by big buff black dog, like human or furry. Since he is a guard dog, he doesn't like our protagonist at first. Then he sniffs him and he smelt familiar. The commotion catches the farm's doctor's attention and he starts questioning the new guy and how he found out about this place. Our protagonist tries to introduce himself and that he is the nephew to Mr. A, the owner of the farm. Before he says his name, the doctor stops him and says they don't do names here. So from today, he'll be called Little A, because he is the nephew to Mr. A, except the dog hybrid named Fluffy. Almost everyone goes by letters. So the doctor introduces himself as G. Remember how Little A met two people at first? The person who stumbled and the dog hybrid? The one who stumbled turned out to be a pig hybrid, and the doctor seemed weirdly aggressive with him. Little A witnessed this and he thinks it's weird. What's weirder in my opinion is Little A seeing all these hybrids and not freaking out, because what do you mean? Anyways, after this, someone rushes towards Little A young person in distraught asking for emergent assistance to help his dad. The young boy is talking about machines and how his dad is going to get out, which confuses Little A, and then the boy drags Little A to where his dad is. They rush towards the place where the dad is and the boy refrains from entering. Instead, he gives Little A a notebook that his uncle used to use for instructions so that he can help his dad. Little A enters the place and he sees someone chained to a pillar next to the machine. He is too slow to realize the person is chained, so he thinks the person is hiding behind the pillar. Anyways, he calls out to the person. He gets close and he sees the person chained, connected to the machine, and he falls and he trips. Apparently the machine is a milking machine, and the instructions as written in Mr. A's notebook is that it has to be full or it's designated to stop only when it's full. In short, now it's 14 out of 100. And for it to stop, it has to be 100 out of 100. Little A realizes what's going on and he screams, "This farm is freaky!" This was all chapter 1, and I'm really shocked by the views in this chapter. I really hope the artist is getting support. If you can, please support the artist on official platforms. Next chapter, we see Little A shocked at what's happening at the farm, and he tries to help Mr. Dairy Cow. He hesitates on what to do, so he checks his uncle's notebook to see what he can do to help. In the notebook, it's written that if the dairy cow doesn't produce milk, it should be given stimulants and left alone. Little A finds the stimulants and tries to give it to Mr. Dairy Cow. Little A looks creepy in this panel. I understand why the cow guy got scared and lashed at him. After the cow lashed at him, one side of the machine got disconnected and it laid one melon bare. The milk splashed on Little A and he notices the reason why the cow guy was in pain was because the nip was inverted. I don't know what that means, but Little A touches it and accidentally stimulates Mr. Dairy Cow. His freaky then starts thinking, what if he puts it in his mouth? On the other hand, we see Fluffy sniffing the letter he took from Little A. The letter smelt familiar, and we see him remembering someone who told him to stay behind. The person is clearly Mr. A before he left the farm. It also seems like that Fluffy and Mr. A had some kind of relationship. Anyways, Fluffy hears the sound of the machine and he gets close to where Little A and Mr. Dairy Cow were. Fluffy then accidentally makes a sound and Little A hears it. As a result, Little A comes back to reality and realizes what he has done. At the same time, the milking machine is almost getting full. After Little A sees the machine, he starts thinking that maybe Mr. Dairy Cow has to feel good to produce milk. Like, duh, what else was that stimulants for? Then Little A does what he has to do and it was successful. The milking machine stopped. After that, the little boy came back with someone who looked quite professional, wearing a suit. The suit guy immediately runs to the milk and starts jugging it down, which caught Little A off guard. But then fast forward, we see Little A fresh out of the shower and quite remorseful about whatever he's done to Mr. Dairy Cow. The guy didn't care, so he introduces himself as an inspector for the Human Livestock Project. He explains what's going on and that humanity is going through a weird evolutionary bump, which caused certain human beings transforming to animals with both female and male genitalia, who can also get breeded, and that there is Center that is a true secret, which oversees all this. As a result, his uncle volunteered to take responsibility of some of the animal-human hybrids at his farm. The hybrids will also be producing farm products like milk, eggs, wool, depending on what animal they are. The inspector also says that the reason he is revealing all this to little A is because his Uncle A disappeared and someone has to take care of the farm on his behalf, so that the uncle returns as early as possible. This part was so silly, but the inspector says something unusual that little A seems to be one of them because he smells familiar. This was weird. I can't wait to be revealed why he said that. One thing for sure, the Center is evil, and the reason his uncle disappeared was that he couldn't bear the guilt of the animal hybrids or something like that. Anyways, the doctor comes after that and the inspector introduces them again. The doctor then guides little A to the place where he will be staying at the farm. While doing so, the doctor warns little A to not take anyone from the Center seriously. He also tells little A to just leave before things get weirder while he is hiding a whole R injection. The doctor starts thinking what he is going to do if little A pulls funny moves. Then little A was like, actually I would have gone, but there is no buses right now, so I'm going to stay. The doctor, since he is petty, he brought little A to the dusty storage room, which was not surprising to the place because little A, as he already visited the farm when he was young. I aspire to be as positive as little A, LOL. Anyways, next morning, little A is up full of energy and positivity. He starts working at the farm. While little A was working at the farm, he caught the attention of the other workers, who starts thinking that he might not make it long at the farm. The little boy at the previous chapters hears this and tells his dad, Mr. Dairy Cow. The boy stays. He wishes little A leaves because he bullied his dad even though he called him to help. Oh, you little. Anyways, Mr. Dairy Cow was like, he kind of helped me and I wish he does it again. Whatever he did, like... A month passes by and little A is having the time of his life at the farm. On the other hand, the workers are confused about how he is holding up. They give up on him and we see them talking about how little A, at least, does his job around the farm, unlike some lazy chicken who doesn't even lay eggs, and there is revealed our main love interest, Mr. Chicken Guy. Can I say love interest? But I think he will be. At the same time, we see little A is having a conversation with the young boy about how he is working at the farm. The young boy changed his mind about little A, since his dad doesn't hate him, so he tries to tell him to stay because his dad kinda likes him. Before he completed his sentence, Mr. Dairy Cow charges at them, huffing and bawling. The conversation is cut short and the cow hybrids start introducing themselves to little A as M, the dad, and M2, the young boy. They also reveal to him their background history to little A and how they ended up at Mr. A's farm. That's where I leave you for part 1 of Mr. A's farm. Honestly, I did not expect it to get this dark. I signed up for Smex, but I stayed for the plot. Anyways, subscribe for part 2. It gets freakier.